we face two adversaries right now. I think the Chinese Communist Party is the primary adversary. I really don't. I don't discount Russia's nuclear arsenal and Russia's conventional capability, but they just don't have the economic foundation to perpetuate anything long term against an alliance like NATO or even against the United States alone. But what we do see is this constant, you're hearing from the elites, we got to go to war in Ukraine, and on the other hand, you're hearing nothing about Taiwan.
Yeah.
So I know you're an expert in these areas, especially in the Taiwan area. So I wanted to ask you, bring us up to date on what's going on with Taiwan. I know I'm watching daily, but I don't dive as deep as somebody like you does. And I know they're still flying airplanes into their airspace, making threats. They're publishing articles in their communist newspaper. I think it's the Global Times, making overt threats to the United States. So what's going on there today?
Now, there is an accelerated pathway to conflict. I mean, I think there's several components to it. First, she is as bad as we have it here with a leader who oftentimes exhibits they don't even realize that they are the president, and does not. I mean, I think seriously has cognitive issues, and is a poster child for the 25th Amendment. But she is as bad as we have it here. She is under even more immense pressure at home. The economy is tanked. With Legrand and the financial situation, the government is essentially seizing savings accounts. The liquidity is gone. The government, so they're out. Their economy is a mess. They are dependent upon us for food. Essentially 50% of their food is imported. Imagine if America was in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially they are dependent on foreign energy. So as great as the Chinese economic miracle, they can't feed their people, they can't fuel their country. So they got problems, and she has been on a rampage, essentially consolidating power and eliminating personalities who he feels are threats. So first of all, is she under immense pressure at home? Bad situation whenever a totalitarian is under pressure at home.
Yeah.
But the other things that are going on, I mean, so that's all driving an accelerated time schedule, I believe, for doing something. It's still not totally clear. But one of the other elements is just the rapid buildup of naval capability. It's just been breathtaking over the last 2 years. I mean, not since Churchill revitalized the Royal Navy in response to the perceived German threat at the turn of the century, into the 20th century, and him and Jackie Fisher just exploded the Royal Navy. The breathtaking pace of the PLAN is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they are demonstrating the air sorties, and they're doing that in more frequent and shorter gaps between these surges. And as a former aviator, it's flying is all about maintenance, and the ability to regenerate an aircraft and regenerate a sortie. It's all about the art of maintenance. And I'm concerned because their surges, the size of their surges have increased, and the time period between surges has decreased. Also, a huge indicator, and this is the one 2 years ago was saying I'm not seeing yet the ability for a forced amphibious landing. Now they have what we would call large flat deck amphibs.
Mm-hmm.
Equivalent to our potentially essentially our America class LHA or LHDs.
Right.
Then you usually have an associated what's called a large amphibious dock, an LPD, a landing ship dock, LSD. But the real indicator is what China has now copied. They understood our ability generate and project naval force is about what we call the Military Sealift Command.
Mm-hmm.
And then this large flotilla of vessels called the National Defense Reserve Fleet that when they're inactive fall under maritime administration in the Department of Transportation. And they're kept at, I believe it's like 15, 5, 15, 30, and 45-day alert. These are about 300 ships, some of which are relatively new, most of which actually in need of recapitalization. But those ships provide immense lift capacity, unique capabilities, and this is the significant art form. It's called Joint Logistics Over the Shore Operations, JLOTS.